Tom Brady won first. So basically, it's a game competition thing between sports athletes, entertainment celebrities, and all that stuff, and fans. They all compete.
What do they compete in?
Just different kind of games. Just athletic games. Whatever.
I got to be honest.
Like competitions?
If I competed with Tom Brady and anything, even if it was fun, and then I won, I'd still walk over and be like, "You win." Like, you're Tom Brady. Like, I know I won a Ferrari, but you win.
Yeah, so Tom Brady won first place for $1 million, and then Justin Gaethje, who came in kind of late, but he won this Ferrari, which is 2025
296
GTB.
Yeah, they're badass.
They're worth like 300 something thousand.
Yeah, they're badass.
How much could you sell that if Justin Gaethje didn't want to keep it? I mean, he probably does want to keep it. I would.
Depends what the specs are on it, but probably 400 something. I'd be willing to bet. I don't know what the stipulation is if you can sell it right away, but Justin doesn't seem like a Ferrari guy. I feel like he's going to sell it. He's a pickup dude. Yeah, he's going to sell that.
He's a pickup. He is absolutely a pickup truck guy. Yeah,
that's a badass whip, though.
It is cool. It's sick. Yeah.
They're cool. Yeah.
This is pretty cool. Jiri Prochazka. He actually had an opportunity to fight for the title.
They were offering fights. He's like, I'm trying to finish my degree.
He's going to finish his master's degree, and he actually finished his master's degree.
That is fucking amazing.
So cool. And now he's like saying he's ready to negotiate to move on for the next fight.
And this is in Russia?
In where he's from. I forget. I always keep forgetting like Chechnya or Czech. Let's stop.
He's not Chechen.
A former Soviet.
He's like Serbian or something like that.
I always get like the Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia. Yeah. I always just assume Russia.
He's Czech Republic. Yeah.
My wife is as well.
No, hold on. Born in Czechia. There's a difference, right? I don't know, man. This is always confusing for me, but yeah. So Czechia,
but nationality Czech.
All right.
Yes.
My wife's dad, who I unfortunately never met, he passed away before we started even dating. He escaped the former Czechoslovakia, like as a boy, like put on like full on movie shit, like put on costumes and got on a ferry and pretended to be going to a rugby game and actually went to France and then made his way to the United States.
Out. Good for him.
That's crazy.
What else you got, Jen?
Here's a quick one. Simone Biles eventually deactivated her X account because of the whole Riley Gaines issue.
Yeah, she fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't like to get into this like woke versus MAGA shit, but really, I don't even understand the motives with Miss Biles on that one. That doesn't, I mean, it just seemed very...
Well, you talk about a woman at the highest level of competition.
Yeah.
Why would she be an advocate for, like, it didn't make sense at all.
This is exactly my point. I'm trying to think of like what she was...
She's a Nike athlete.
Yeah.
There's no one more woke than Nike. So maybe, who knows, she gets pressure from that. And Nike sure as fuck doesn't realize the blowback she's going to get by dying on that hill. Yeah. And boy, did she get lit up.
Oh, big time.
Riley Gaines is very smart, knows what the fuck she's talking about.
And she was like the spokesperson, advocate of the anti, kind of trans athlete thing.
And Simone, I don't know what the fuck she was thinking. Just be the tiny girl that does backflips.
Like that's my wife and I were discussing how, especially with like the recent kind of riots or protests in Los Angeles, you're seeing a lot of celebrities get out there and I was like, well, what? Look, it's America. Say what you want, do your thing. But what's the motive even to get out there and do that? And she's like,
they have to.
They feel like they do.
Well, no, they have to because of the pressure from the studios too. Because how many guys you see on the right talking? I could give you a list of big time celebrities who are on the right that you would have no clue.
Absolutely.
Because if they come out, their careers are over. But if you push this bullshit woke agenda, you get bigger roles. What's up with that?
I talked to one that would absolutely remain nameless for that reason. That's unfair to him or her for me to. But I talked to one who is like, yeah, I can't publicly be myself.
No,
it's insane. But my point more so was like, does it really give you the buzz that you're looking for? And let me point something out. Go down the list. You ever seen Tom Cruise, Tom Hardy? Let's name like
Harrison
really
Ford,
like
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Do you see them out there doing that?
No.
Maybe there's a connection.
But they also go, I make movies. Why people give a fuck what I think politically doesn't matter.
That's what I would think too. I was telling Chin before we started, I used to host an AM talk radio show. And before Trump's 2016 campaign, I took that opportunity to talk about like weird stereotypes and if they're true or not, and like just kind of bullshit, because who the fuck wants to listen to me talk about Syria?
No.
Like, what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, if Tom Cruise started ranting off about transgender and woke agendas and stuff, I'm like, bitch, you better make Mission Impossible 9 or where the fuck it is. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude.
And it's also like, they're like, oh, Taylor Swift backed Biden. It's like, oh, sweetie, you think those idiots are going to go out and vote? You think that's going to swing the votes?
In fact, it really, and this goes more to like Miss Kamala Harris's campaign.
Shit show.
They should have known, like, anyone who's voting for Kamala Harris is voting for Kamala Harris anyway. Do you think it helps or hurts your cause when you have Taylor Swift come out and go like, girl power Kamala? No, it's those people that are on the fence that were like, oh, okay, I kind of was anti-Trump because he seems like a jerk and all, but now I'm definitely not voting for you. There's no upside.
But
how do they not
It comes out
understand
They
that?
all got paid to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That's
insane.
the biggest blow up in your face. It's like, all right, everybody's for hire.
Like, did you hear Cardi B went on that whole rant against Trump and defending Kamala, and you find out she got paid $10 million to do that?
And Beyonce might have got more
Paid a grip.
She got
to not perform
40
music.
million. She came out, waved, and they're like, wait, you're not performing? They did an arena and announced she was going to be there.
How is that legal?
It's not legal for normal citizens, but it's legal.
But my point, we there's so much kind of guard, and obviously there's loopholes we've seen. But with like campaign finance, there's so many people that are so strict in guarding that, and like motivations from foreign assets and non-GMO, like, you know, like there's
Politics. Do as we say, not what we do.
had to pay Beyonce $40 million with, obviously it's donor money, so it doesn't make it, but there has to, when you're talking about someone running for president of the United States, how are we, that seems weird.
But does anyone say, hey, are we actually getting a profit back on this? How's this
I'm
work?
like, what's the up? Dude,
How many people are going to vote because Beyonce shook her ass for Kamala?
I'm not an insider, but I will give you my own the small bit of experience I do have. 2016, the fallout of when President Trump became president. People are like, how the fuck? A lot of people, myself included, I was like, I did not see this coming. I did not see him winning. But I will tell you, as I was working in AM political talk radio at the time, Donald Trump put me on hold at KABC in Los Angeles because he was doing small market radio in St. Louis. It's, not even St. Louis. It's somewhere in Missouri outside. He was doing a radio station that 1,000 people were listening to, probably all blue collar folks. And I had to wait, and I was happy to do it. He's the presidential candidate. At that same time, we were given absolutely not. Hillary Clinton is not going to waste any time talking on the AM. She has an event tonight in Beverly Hills that's $10,000 a plate, and Katy Perry is going to perform in it. And I was like, he's going to win.
Yeah, he's going to win.
Yeah.
He's going to.
Cal and I would argue all the time because I was like, I'm telling you, Trump's going to win. Because I was on the road. I was in Iowa. I was in Texas. I was in Ohio. I was all over the country. And when you're in LA, Brian was mainly in LA. He was like, there's no way you're in a bubble. Like, everyone hates Trump and Trump this, Trump. And I was telling Brian, like, dude, I'm boots to the ground, dude. I'm telling you, the amount of support he has outside this bullshit city, I haven't seen anything otherwise.
Yep.
I'm telling you, he's going to win. And then when he won, Brian was like, holy fuck, you're right.
I have
I'm
to
like,
admit,
it's not because I'm smart, know what I'm talking about. I'm just telling you, I see actual real people that were all about it. But we're in this bubble, and it's not real, man.
I have to admit, I was absolutely victim to the bubble. I was going into election night, and as it got closer and closer, and it started to become more realistic, that I was laughing. I was like, this is because I know people who are living in Dayton are going to say, "Shut, that seems too much." There was literally people walking down walking their dogs in Venice crying in 2016 on election. Literally people, like a couple people, not a dude.
Yeah, those
I
people-
saw numerous people walking crying when Donald
bitches.
Trump, and I'm just laughing. I was laughing
Bitches.
my
And those
ass
people are
off.
still crying. They think Trump's the enemy, and it's